DNA, most people are familiar with the term, but what is it? We hear about it being used to solve crimes, to cure disease, but most people don't have an understanding of what DNA is or exactly what it does. DNA is deoxyribonucleic acid, a complex molecule made up of 6 basic parts. The rungs of the DNA ladder consist of 4 chemicals: adenine, which pairs with thymine, and guanine, that pairs with cytosine. The sides of the ladder consist of alternating sugar and phosphate units. Well, that explains what DNA is, but the better question is, how does it work? For instance, how does it contain instructions for the myriad of different traits that we see in all living organisms here on Earth? Well, that answer isn't so simple. But what we do know is that the letters in our DNA do code for protein structure. Let me demonstrate with Lego. If you've ever built with Lego, you know that each set comes with a specific set of instructions, and that they contain many, many different types of Lego pieces of different shapes and sizes. DNA sort of works the same way. DNA is like the instruction manual, and it's an instruction for building a protein, and the proteins are built of amino acids. You can think of those as the Lego blocks. Now, if we take these different Lego blocks, we can form all kinds of different things from them, depending on what order we stack them in. Now, it's the same thing with the amino acids. Each amino acid has its own little specific shape, and so when you stack them in different orders, you produce a different shape for your protein. Now, let's pretend that this unpaid amateur child actor is a cell, and we give him a gene, played in this by his instruction booklet. He starts to assemble blocks as laid out in the instructions, and eventually, he reaches the end of the instructions and a protein is produced. Now, a different set of instructions will result in a different protein, and that's what produces variations between living things, even within the exact same species. Now, occasionally, these changes in instructions can cause things to be produced in shapes that won't work, and that can cause disease. Something more insidious can change our DNA, and that is the virus. Let's pretend this unpaid amateur child actor is a virus. Viruses are the ninjas of the biology world. They use stealth to sneak into a cell and insert a copy of their own genetic code into the nucleus of a cell. So this cell was planning on building one thing, but the virus sneaked in with his ninja stealth skills and replaced the cell's instructions with his own. The cell doesn't realize this and starts to build with the new instructions. Before long, the cell has produced tons of virus products and is exhausted. The new products, which turn out to be new virus particles, then escape the cell to continue the process. But the thing is, viruses aren't all bad. We have learned how to engineer viruses to insert useful genes into a cell. In theory, with the right virus, we could fix mistakes in the DNA in order to cure diseases such as cystic fibrosis. The problem is that this turns out to be a lot harder than it seems. First, the gene has to be put into the right place in your DNA, and you need a virus that would not be easily targeted by the body's immune system. In 2011, a group of researchers at the University of Pennsylvania modified T cells in leukemia patients using a virus derived from HIV. The T cells were programmed outside the body to specifically attack markers that were found on tumor cells, and those T cells did exactly that. However, the cells also destroyed all the B cells in the patients, which is kind of bad because you need B cells for an immune response, and they pretty much don't have any immune response anymore. So that wraps up the basics about DNA and viruses. Hope you enjoyed the video. Big thanks to Owen and Gavin for helping out, and I will see you next time.